today I wanted to show you the strength that's really changed me and how I work out. I still use dumbbells, I use kettlebells, I use barbells, I use the TRX. I also use little steps. And I have to tell you right now, these bands, I'm totally addicted to the bands. The bands have done so much for my body. But I want to talk to you a little bit about the Total Gym and how it's really upped my ante and helped with my arm development. I got in the back, everything that I have. And I have, this is one Total Gym. I have another Total Gym here. There's all different brands, but this is a Fit Plus, which has 14 levels, and I'll show you that. And this is just a Fit with 12 levels, even though they're up almost the same height. I think the Fit Plus is a little bit bigger, and I also have the incline rower for the Total Gym. So you might be wondering why I have two, but I have one at my cottage, but I have two here because I can move freely from one to the other. Now the Total Gym, by far, you have the pulley that you can attach or not have it on. This one I don't have it on. So I'll show you that, and it's very simple to attach it. I come down here, find a little clip, and I clip it on. So you're able to work at your own level. That's why a lot of people, when they're beginners, they start at level 1, and there's certain exercises that might be a little harder at the very bottom. So we have all these little attachments. I have one right here, and you have handles, and then you have the like a barbell, and you move this lever up and down to make your exercises harder. So the higher you go up, the harder, more challenging. So, and it just depends if you're sitting, if you're laying down, if you're facing the tower, if you're facing away from the tower, all that comes into play. So it's a big learner, it has a big learning curve, but I'm going to tell you what, it's really helped me with my workouts. So if I take this bar here, I pull on it, this is the highest level. So if I'm going to do back rows, now when I'm pulling at the highest level, they have it in the cards, I'm not sure how much of my body weight. It's still not going to be 100% of my body weight, but it'll probably be 70, 80%. So I can come in and do a back row like that, see? You can do it any way you want. You can have palms up, palms down. There's so many different ways that you can work this. And I can come up side to side. See, I keep my shoulders back as I do it. So there's so much that you can do with the Total Gym like this. Now, if I want to, I'll show you how I do it. It just takes me a few seconds. If I just want to use the handles, I can do the moves with the handles and the barbell attachment. And but I can't so much with the barbell attachment on use the handles. Now, here's one exercise that I do at the top level. And it's for your triceps. So I do all upper body and core on the Total Gym. I don't use the Total Gym for my legs, but most people do. And my legs are super, super strong, and I can't keep my heart rate up. So I can work harder on the floor. But that being said, if I add my bands to it, and I'll show you, they have They have a lot of little attachments that you can put on the bottom of this, like a cyclo trainer. They have something that you can jog on, a stepper. They have all kinds of stuff. So I come up here like this. Okay. See, I'm gonna hold on here. Okay, you can put your feet down. I tend to have mine up like that. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let myself down. I'm a little too close to the wall. And I'm gonna pull all the way here and then come around. Slow. Just do a couple more. The gliding is by far. The gliding, I can do biceps. I have my palms up. You can alternate however you want to do it, and you can bring the level down. And oh, see, I snapped them. You can bring the level down. You can sit when you do it. So you probably can't see, but I'm stepping out of the picture. But I pull. They have a little safety hitch. I pull it. Let's say I want to go down a little bit here. I always put my little safety pin in. And when I'm working out, I like to move fast, from one to the other, fast, 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 fast. I don't even really think in between. I just go, go, go. So that goes really fast. That you can. And when I do my program, I have a I make my own stuff up, but I keep track of it. Meaning not just keep track of it, but I do all my exercises with my bar first. So if I'm doing, in a pull series, let's say I'm doing 20 upper body exercises, maybe 8 of them will be with the bar. So I start out with that, and then I do the other. So you can do rows here. I can pull back like that, and around, like this and around. This and around. Now when I come around and back, that's a little harder. I try not to go too fast. So I can come back, go forward, and then come around. And then you can push them back like that, or straight like that. That's gonna work your triceps, and this is the cable part of it. And there's millions and millions of exercises. So I wanted to show you that. Also, they have a bar right here, and you can put that on the end and have weights. I actually have 4 25-pound weights. I can put 2 on each end to make it harder. Like when I do the tricep ones that I just did and the back rows, I'm at the very top level. But the other ones, you know, I'm not. But using those weights have helped. And here's the squat bench right here. You can put that on the end. It's a little squat bench. That helped me after I had my foot surgery. I use a Total Gym quite a bit more for my legs. Now I really don't. I use my bands with steps, and I do my band. So I step over here, and on the bottom you can't see it, but I got shoulder press. So you lay on it upside down when you do your shoulder presses. And then we have this attachment right here, which you put right here, and you do all your pull-ups. So if I'm doing pull-ups, I put them on there, and I usually do my pull-ups first for my pull series. So, you know, I like to do probably 8 different sets. And then I take them off, and that's why I like the 2, because I can go between them. I can do triceps over there, come over here. Now, one of my favorite attachments, I have to say, is the ab crunch. So I always have a towel on it, and of course, one of my trusty bands. I use the bands all the time with this now. So, but with the ab crunch, I'm just tripping over my own bands. I am a band addict. So I come over here. Now this is the real simple one. I mean, I can do this all day, okay? But this is how people start. But I'm going to show you can come up, tap, and go over. So you're gliding, and bring one leg up, and one leg down. Now, I found to up the ante, and I do everything, all my sumo squats, and I sit down, and when I come into my sumo squat, I gotta show you. I put a band around my thighs, but I'm down here when I start. I'm all the way down, and then I come up, and when I come down and up, I have a band around, and then I hold a kettlebell. But I put this on, and this will really up the ante. So there's so much that you can do with this total gym. It's actually non-ending. You would be surprised at all the stuff that you can do. I put this on, I come up here, I pull in, push this leg back, and then I bring this in. Now, what happens is, this tightens my core more, and the bonus is working my gluteus minimus, like the love handle, your whole glute area. And there's so many different ways you can do it. I can bring one leg back, bring this forward, up, bring it forward. Lots of times, I'll come up like this and then do like a fire hydrant. But usually I do this, up, and then I kick back, straight. And then I come up, kick it back. Sometimes I come up like this, and then I pick my leg up. You can come in at the same time. So this was the thing I wanted to tell you about. And you can go on Marketplace, which is kind of hard now with the pandemic. But I picked up a used fit had everything, all the attachments for $200. And there's also dip bars that I have for doing triceps and that attaches on here. They have a lot of really, really nice attachments. And the other two, the one I have at the cottage too, is this one I bought at QVC, and I paid $100 a month for a year or whatever it was. And the other one I bought at the Total Gym Direct. And it's one thing I haven't regretted, and I'm actually looking for another one. And my Total Gym rower is amazing because it's on an incline. I just wanted to show you a little bit of that because this is probably 50% of my upper body work, and my lower body work are these bands. And I'm going to do a video on the bands because the bands really lift your booty. It just really gives it a nice round butt. So, because as you get older, it tends to sag. Mine right here is just, mine doesn't sag in the least. It's tight and it's up. And a lot of that is those bands. When you use the bands and you're coming out with them, when you work your glute area, you have to work your glute medius, which is up in here, and the minimus along with the maximus in order to build it. I wanted to keep my booty built and out. So I'll do another video a little bit on the bands, because I'm a total gym addict, and I'm a loop band addict, and a bouncing addict. So I combine all three together to really tighten my body up, to give me muscles, every which way that you can. And it's not like I have a huge, but you know, for being 64, I'll be 65 in a couple months, and having 10 children, that's been my goal, to keep the figure. In my abs, I actually have lines that I can see into my abs. They go down in here, And a lot of that has to do with eating. So you have to combine diet and exercise. Because I'm going to tell you, when I was teaching 40 hours a week at my bouncing fitness place, you would think I could eat everything I wanted, and I really tried to watch what I ate, but there were some things I shouldn't have eaten, and I got up to probably at least 20 pounds more than I am now. And I've been on a low carb for 18 months, maybe longer, and totally changed. You know, as we go through menopause, the different things that we go through, it was much harder for me than having 10 babies and losing the weight afterwards. It was easier when I was younger. It was easier. I had my last baby at 45, and that was still much easier than menopause. So menopause tends to put abdominal fat, and I didn't like abdominal fat. And when I started at low carb, I could not believe it. Even the people that came to my classes were just like, wow. And I had surgery last October, and when I went back to teach in January, they were all stunned. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I lost just the fat, and now I'm building the muscle up. So I've gained a few pounds, but I gained probably 5 pounds back, and it's pretty much muscle because my clothes are even a little looser. So that's a bonus. So if you can find or look at the Total Gym, I have a few groups that I'll put in, a few groups that I'll put in a link that you can follow. They have a Total Gym Addict page, which is an amazing group. And then there's another group, Cassandra's, I think it's Total Fit or whatever it is, but she's got tons of videos and a lot of great tips on how to get started. And I just want you to know, it does have a learning curve, but once you learn it, it's well worth the time that you put into learning it. How to use the machine, what level, and I actually have notes, and you know, I have them sitting right over there that what I'm going to do and what level, you know, because you're going to go up and you're going to go down, you're going to go, sometimes there's a couple things that I do that I have to use level 4. So you go up and down on the level, and these cables are absolutely amazing. And if you want to add more weight and you want to pull more weight, you can put more weight on it. There's a lot of different ways that you can make it up. You can put pieces of wood on the bottom or the front, and that makes it go up higher, so you have a higher level. There's just so many ways that you can use this Total Gym, and it's hard for me to get addicted to something like that, but between the bouncing, which I'll always love, every time I bounce, it's like, it's my first bounce. My feet just, I always say, gosh, I love bouncing. My feet melt right into a mat. And I feel the same way about my Total Gym. And these bands, I've really gotten heavy and strong into these bands. I started them a long time ago, but to really get into them, and I have all different sizes, and I use them a million different ways, was June 5th. And I can see an amazing difference in my love handle area and lifting my booty and keeping it up. And that's a hard thing to do when you get up into your middle 60s. So, and I want you to know that whenever you're working out, try not to be lackadaisical and just blah, blah. I push. And I know on my walk, I can tell when my heart rate's getting up. That's why I generally do an upper body, which will, depending on, because sometimes I'm laying on this with my head down, my heart rate's going to go down. I get up after that set, and I go over and I pump out my legs. And my legs, working my legs is what keeps my heart rate up. So I make sure I got a good heart rate going, and I'll do a leg one, upper body leg one here. And then sometimes I'll use a TRX and I'll jump in and out, keep my heart rate up, come here, do some abs. So I have a little some people could call it a circuit, but I switch it up, my exercises, and every day I do it differently. I just make it up as I go. Of the routine, I know pretty much the exercises I'm going to do, but I switch them all up and how I do it and which lower body work I'm going to do. And every single day I come up with 2 or 3 more ways to either use a total gym or to use my bands. And I amaze myself at times. I walk upstairs when I'm done and think, wow, I came up with how many more moves. And the list is endless. I can do strength 3 hours and I still not running out of things to do. And I move it constant. That's the key. Constantly move, move, move. And so that's going to be it. So if you have any questions on the total gym, by far it's a very well-made machine. It's just like a genius. It's when I went to Florida for almost 3 weeks, and I really missed my total gym. But I brought my bouncer, and I really wasn't into the heavy bands like I am now. And so I made do with what I had. And sometime maybe I'll show you how you do the rower, because you go the rower up on an incline. And I love that. It's very hard, and it's very it's good for your back and for the rows and all that. So it's the total gym, and I'll put something within the group for it. So I hope you have a great